Did you have some talks with Jude about this ahead of time before the shooting started? I interviewed her and she said that one of the things that she enjoyed most was working with you and some of the other newer actors.
Oh yeah, no, Jude was awesome from day one. That was a big selling point for this project that made me so comfortable was Jude from day one, knowing we were brand new actors, three of the leads of this film, this was our first feature film. So she sat us down and first of all, she gave us this really awesome lesson from the beginning on the technical side, cameras, angles, lighting, which was huge for us jumping into such a big production, keeping these things in mind. And then besides that, on the more important side, Jude was so open, especially with me as a Hawaiian, about having this communication of talking about the culture and things like that, that really made it comfortable to tackle a story this big. The Hawaiian culture has really never seen the big screen in this at all, let alone Netflix on a big platform. So it was a scary thing to take on, but having Jude there guiding us through, she was such a great teacher. And when we were getting to act and create, she's so open with us. Though we were newbies, she gave us so much trust to develop our characters and make these choices for ourselves and really bring our characters to life. She was there to guide, but she was such a great teacher that we kind of all got to flourish on our own and really make big choices on set. There was constant choices that were being made. It was a really run and gun moment and it really worked out, and she was the queen that led us through.
Was there a moment where in the shooting where you just thought, you know what, this is gonna be okay, I got this, this is gonna be something fun?
I think there are quite a bit of those moments from the start. Getting to Oahu, jumping in. I'd worked on a lot of commercial sets and modeling
Yeah.
sets, and it's a whole nother world. It's similar. There's cameras, there's people, but when you're jumping to a character that you're going to develop over 2 months of filming, and you're filming all out of order, and it's really overwhelming at a point. But when we got there, our producers, our crew, everyone was so supportive. They all knew we were newbies. They all knew we were just kind of learning our way. And I don't know how, but we kind of fell into it really quickly. The three of us leads who had never been to a movie before, been in a movie, we just seamlessly fell into our characters. And I think it was because of the support around us that we felt so comfortable that we could just dive in and go for it. So there were many moments that learning how to do half of the things on a big film set was just a constant daily struggle. And I'm like, we're just going to learn. We're just going to go. We're going to just figure it out. I mean, getting to the point of stunts, we'd never done stunts before, getting put in a full body harness, getting hung 45 feet in the air. And they're like, we're going to drop you. I'm like, all right, that's what's going to happen. So it was a lot of just this run and gun idea of just figuring it out as we go. And I mean, we were so down for everything. So it was just fun. That's all it was. It was fun.
And you shot the cave stuff in Thailand, right?
Yes, yeah, it was insane. Real caves in Thailand. And then we had some sets that were built also
Yeah.
in Thailand for some of the fake caves, but the real caves were insane. They were huge and filled with bats and stalagmites and stalactites. I'm stealing ground. I don't know, but it was such a fun thing. I mean, I'd never seen a cave like that, let alone that they have them everywhere. Like it's normal in Thailand to just have huge, beautiful caves. It was an honor to be able to film in there.
Well, you mentioned that there aren't a lot of movies that really deal with Hawaiian culture, and this movie, it doesn't mention it in passing. I mean, really, the premise of the movie is based around the whole idea of Hawaiian culture, and uh, as you know, just as a young Hawaiian, what did that mean to you to be in a movie like this that
Yeah.
dealt with it so seriously?
It was such an honor. I mean, there was a lot of fear, I'm not gonna lie, from the start. When I got the role and I knew it was gonna be my face, my name that was gonna be bringing our culture to the screen on this level, there's fear along with it because we're very particular to make sure our culture is represented in the correct, proper way. So knowing that there was this whole production behind me and we were gonna have to work hand in hand to make sure that everything was done right was a big weight. But as I said, when I got to meet everyone and realize how much heart and passion was in this project, people from all walks of life didn't care if they were from Hawaii or not. They were all in to tell this story. They were all ears. They wanted to hear about the Hawaiian culture. I mean, I was kind of this little point of education for them that I was the teacher. I'd grown up in Hawaii. I went to a Hawaiian school. So, I won't say I'm an expert, but compared to some people who never got to see the culture ever, I kind of was at the moment. So it was fun to get to teach. My co-stars always came to me. They had questions, about some of their lines, especially Owen. His character Casper is supposed to be this little Hawaiian genius about the culture, and he's like, I don't know any of it. Like, help Lindsay. So we would sit there, we would talk it through, pronunciation about Hawaiian words. That's really big for us as Hawaiians, making sure you pronounce your words correctly. And we introduce a lot of Hawaiian words in this movie. So it was really, really, really a big thing. But to me, it was such an honor. I mean, we've gotten such a support from the Hawaiian community. They're so excited. And as a Hawaiian, just in general, seeing this film, we've never seen our culture like this. I mean, we see the grass skirts and coconut shells, but that's not us. This is the real side of Hawaii, not the all pretty side. It's kind of hard sometimes living in a really expensive place, but it's all worth it at the end of the day. We are family driven, culture driven, and it was so cool to be seen for once on the screen.
Although they did manage to sneak in the shot of the cans of Spam into the movie, so that's
We could not. It wouldn't be a movie about Hawaii without Spam. Let's just be real. That had to make the cut, no question.
when you saw the movie completed for the first time, what did it feel like? Was it what you expected it was going to be?
Yeah, it was everything and more. I mean, I was crying the first time I saw it. I mean, it goes back to that idea of, I've never seen Hawaiian culture. I've never seen people like me on the screen. These are things I grew up with and loved and adored. But, when I watch TV and when I, even as an actor, go out for auditions, you don't see those kind of things get a chance to hit the big screen. So seeing that part as a Hawaiian, it was such an honor. I mean, I think everyone in Hawaii felt that moment when they see this movie, that we're getting represented for once. And then just seeing how these action sequences and everything come together, it was so interesting because we film everything very out of order, out of sequence, chopped up. People are watching one scene and they don't know that's 3 different locations over a span of 3 weeks that we filmed that. So it was so cool to see how they edit the movie. And again, first movie, I don't normally see how these things happen. So knowing that we did all these little parts all throughout in Hawaii, in Thailand, inside, outside, real sets, fake sets, and seeing how they strung it together, it was so fun. I really, really enjoyed it.
Oh, one last question here. You've talked a couple times about the fact that there were some action going on. You were having to do some physical stuff. Did doing this movie change sort of what you thought of yourself as an actress or what you thought you were capable of doing?
Oh, yes. Let's start off with the number one thing was that I'm extremely afraid of heights. So I, from day one, was made to do rock climbing. That was one of our like icebreakers as actors. We went rock climbing. And that first day I realized, oh, I'm going to be pushed out of my comfort zone. And I think it's going to be worth it. So from the whole thing, you'll see moments where Hana, who's afraid of heights, so am I, she is just put to her limits. Like I said, we were put in full body harnesses 45 feet in the air. We were on edges. They're, high 20 feet up in the air. I was dying. So that was a huge thing to push me out. And then to just realize we got to do some of our stunts and really kind of get to embody those moments. And it like sparked this level of interest I didn't know I had in action. I was new as an actress. I eventually wanted to be like a Marvel superhero, but I think it was more off of the power stance of that idea, not so much the action that comes with it. And now I'm like, oh, I want to go for it. I mean, I never saw myself going through this like action part, and it's so much fun. Oh man, I had no idea. I think that's in the cards for me.
Well, Disney's making like 5,000 action shows, so
So let's do it.
I appreciate you taking the time to do this and really
Of
enjoy the movie a
course.
lot. And
Oh, I'm
and good
so
luck
glad.
with your career.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.